nididhyāsanam is not supposed to be done independently. Nididhyāsanam is part of Shravanam. Whereas when especially people look at nididhyāsanam as independent practice, separate practice, their things will be interpreted or looked at differently. Because we say very clearly, Shravanam is the only means for moksha, for liberation. Making it very clear. If you do not understand this, definitely you will be put in a trap, and of course you are being trapped and you will go for experience travel. And all religious, all so-called spiritual teaching system or preaching system highlights this aspect. So Shravanam being, or Shravanam alone, because Shabda as a pramana, means of knowledge. It's like, remember, without knowing, if you start closing your eyes, start meditating, ask, who am I, who am I? After 20 years of meditation, you are not going to be enlightened. Only you will get confirmation that I am an idiot. Because whatever you know, that confirmation comes through meditation. In meditation, nothing happens. Don't imagine. This is called, this mindfulness, Buddhism, this Kundalini, this ini, that ini. You understand what I am trying to say? Yes, useful. We don't dismiss. All are useful, but with their limitations. Please remember. That's why this Vedantic approach and yogic approach cannot go together also. This text is very serious text, okay? This yoga and Vedanta cannot go together. Yes, yoga helps for Vedanta, no doubt in it. But remember, yoga looks at things differently. Vedanta looks at the same thing differently. We are going to enter into different area altogether today. That's why. So one should have that sort of maturity. Not little bit yoga, little bit Vedanta, little bit this, little bit that. You understand? This is called yoga nowadays, okay? So the like integral yoga. So now we can put a new name called yoga, okay? Remember, the new term, we have to terminology, you have to use it, okay? Yoga. So from everything, little bit we have put together. Oh, please. Why I am bringing this point again and again, even though we discussed last time, there is no prārabdha and all these things, and especially animoksha prasanga and sampradaya nichcheda, and finally we discovered that Shastra being the only means, Sabda as only means for moksha, because that is the pramana, that is also is being negated if we accept prārabdha. However, all these things, when it is being taught, from this verse number 100 is a very, good number. He wants to say something differently. So that is what I thought of bringing. Remember, Vedanta is not opposite or against yogic tradition. Remember this point. Vedanta is not critical about yogic practices, but Vedantic practices is entirely different from yogic practices. Because in yoga, there is denial. Whereas in Vedanta, there is understanding and acceptance. So when one highlights denial because of fear, other one understanding the better, now what does? Accepts. It's exactly the monkey mind and human mind. Now, if you observe a monkey, especially monkey has taken your specs. Now, when the monkey has taken specs, you have two options. You can create fear in monkey. Throw stones, chase, so that monkey will not have any other option to run away. And you are good at throwing and catching both. So when you throw, stone hits the monkey, then monkey drops the specs. And you are also good at catching, you can catch, you can get back specs. But what is the percentage? And even if you get back, you will try to tell everybody, whole world, I achieved this. I chased the monkey, and if you have photo camera or ask somebody, take some videos, okay, reels, let us put in the reel, okay? So you will announce for the whole world. And another method is, when the specs has been taken, so what you do? So you give better thing to the monkey, banana. Now when the monkey starts dwelling upon, getting engaged with banana, now what happens? Now specs has no value. And this is exactly yoga and Vedanta. So that's why in yoga, when you practice something, there is a lot of strain, proving attitude, showing off, many other aspects is included. Whereas in Vedantic practices, you become one with the crowd. There is no exclusivity. That's why we say, if you are looking for exclusivity, that means what happens? You are not ready for Vedanta. Better continue with yogic lifestyle. Yes, we say with Vedantic understanding, if you can have yogic lifestyle, that is something very interesting. But if you want to have what? Remember, Vedantic lifestyle with yogic understanding. and present generation or present system is what? Vedantic lifestyle with yogic understanding. Some tricks and techniques here and there. If nothing works, some bhajan, okay? Now this is a good way to attract people. Something to be done. Attract people. However, with this background, let us now read the verse number 100. Tripañcāṅgānyato vakṣye pūrvoktasyaiva Taiś sarvaiḥ sadā kāryaṁ nididhyāsanam evato. Says, look, we have been discussing about jnana prāptir. Atah, now, pūrvoktasyaiva labdhaye. Whatever we have discussed earlier, especially as you know this point, that sarpa jnanam, or you can say mithya sarpa jnanam. The sarpa, the snake, that which is false, superimposed, adhyasa iti, that will be negated with the help of rope jnana. But if your mind is not ready to listen to, if shravanam is not done properly, then what happens? Now, maybe we have to take the person nearer to the rope and push from a distance with the stick. Hey, look, nothing happens. Again, that fellow will say, no, it is a dead snake. Then again, you have to take the person, come and touch. So it is not smooth, soft. No. Maybe it is hard because of winter. Because person will have all sort of logic. So what does it mean? The person is not ready to listen to. Look at the practical aspect. But if the shravanam is done, hey, look, there was a lack of light, now I brought the light, look, this is rope. With the help of the light, now what happens? The person sees. Whereas here also same thing, that I am the Atma. Not that I am body-mind complex. When this is being taught in Shastra, through the teaching, when it comes, when mind is ready, Shravana is done properly, then what happens? Simultaneously, I start thinking, hey, look, always I use myself as body-mind complex. How can I become Atma, all-pervasive? I think there is doubt. Then I take the help of, that's why you listen to different methodology of teaching. So to negate your habitual thinking. That is called mananam. Not to strengthen your habitual thinking. Can you see this point? So when you start using Vedanta to, support your habitual thinking. Vedanta in management. Vedanta in yoga. Vedanta in this, Vedanta in that. It's helpful, nothing wrong in it. To sell the books, okay? But What is the purpose? That's why in Bhagavad Gita, what we say? Bhagavad Gita is moksha shastra. A Bhagavad Gita is not a management shastra, even though we all talk, okay, don't worry. Because that is called survival purpose, nothing else, okay? I am very clear in this regard. So that's why here is being said that when I am hearing or the Shravanam is done properly, carefully, and Mananam I am doing to weaken, to make it weaker, my thinking process, that is called Mananam. If I start supporting my thinking process some way or other, that means Mananam is not being done at all. One has to be very careful in this aspect, number one. Then with this process or after Mananam comes nididhyāsanam, owning up. So when we say owning up, so owning up the knowledge by removing my habitual error, not coming under the clause, influence of my habitual pattern or habitual error, which I am carrying forward God knows how many lives. So the whole process of nididhyāsanam is nothing but being aware of my habitual error. And when it is being aware of my habitual error, habitual thinking, habitual behavior, that means it is not sometime to be done. So it is not mere practice. It is with understanding. With this background, when we look at this verse, says Lok, atha pūrvoktasyaiva labdhaye. So pūrvoktasya jnana, that knowledge that has been discussed earlier, in order to attain. So that means what? Here, jnanartham, in order to gain the knowledge, shravanam, mananam, nididhyāsanam is required. Especially manda, madhyama, adhikaris. As we know this point, when we talk about different lokas, about punya, we say, look, if you have good punyam, you have done good thing, you'll go to higher loka. And the highest loka, most short after loka, field of experience is called what? Brahma loka. Do you know why? Because there Brahmaji will teach you. So any other loka, only you will enjoy. So field of experience for enjoyment. There Brahmaji will teach you. What he will teach you? One line he will teach you. He will not waste his time because he has got many things to do, okay? So one line, that what? Tattvamasi. Already your mind is so prepared, ready. The moment he says, Tattvamasi, you are that. What you are looking for, what you are seeking, indeed you are that. Chapter is over. Now, this very carefully we say, when mind is not prepared, the Shravanam has no impact. In fact, there is no Shravanam, first of all. And even if you hear, not listen to, but nothing enters inside. That's why we Shastra highlights, Pauna Punyena Shravanam Kuryat. May you listen to again and again, at least something will enter, okay? So at least in this class, when you listen to again and again, something is entering in you, whether you like it or not, something, okay? If not, everything. And moreover, when you start looking at this, then you will see a different person altogether. Now he says, look, after this Shravanam Mananam, if your really mind does not work because of your habitual error and your surroundings, many other aspects, now look at Nididhyāsanam. He says, look, we have here Taiś sarve sadā kāryaṁ nididhyāsanam evatu. And he says, look, how many types? He says, Tripañcāṅgāni iti aham vakṣye. Now I am going to talk about 15 steps, 15 angas, limb of what? This nididhyāsanam, meditation, contemplation. Remember, Patanjali talks about Ashtha Anga, 8 limbs. But here Adi Shankaracharya wants to highlight 15. He takes those 8 also and he adds some more points. 7 more he adds. And that is how he wants to say, look, there are 18 things to be done by a Vedantin. Especially when your Shravanam is not happening properly. So Nididhyāsanam, not a chewing back, okay? Remember this example, okay? You are not a cow, okay? You are human being, remember. And when this is to be done, and he says, what is, he says, look, very carefully, Taiś sarvaiḥ cha nididhyāsanam evatu sadā kāryaṁ. So these 15 steps, 15 angas, 15 limbs is very much helpful for handling, please understand, for handling my habitual behavior, handling my subconscious mind, handling my any behavioral problem, emotional problem. But it is not going to give you knowledge. That you have to be very clear. Knowledge does not come from meditation or contemplation or here is nididhyāsanam. Be very clear. If meditation gives knowledge, every thief must be a wise person because they meditate more than any one of us, okay? Before doing anything. So meditation is not going to give you knowledge. Don't feel proud. Oh, every day I do meditate. Yes, of course you are better than others because other person at least do not know how to close their eyes. Do you know really how to close your eyes? Yes, Swamiji, when I don't want to listen to you, that time I close my eyes, okay? I am in meditation. Okay? And of course, we have other way of also. When eyes get tired, it gets closed. Just imagine, when was the last that you closed your eyes for half an hour? We'll be seeing, okay? When did you close your eyes for half an hour? Do you remember? When did you close your eyes for last half an hour? Yeah, some of them, these boys will say, yeah, because Swamiji, you do not know, because this, there no Avani Avatam, because we changed this, Upakarma was there. So next day, we had to do, this Gayatri 1000. Don't ask, okay, what we did is, okay? Opening the eyes, counting whether it is over or not, what is happening, nothing is going fast, okay? And some of these guys, in 30 minutes, they have done 1000, okay? It is super fast express, okay? And what sort of buddhi you will have, don't ask, okay? And after this Gayatri Japam, there will be demand, okay? What demand? Payasam. Where is my payasam, okay? Sweet, you understand? Because those days, mothers were very smart. When child will not do, so they give, hey, there will be sweet for you. Do this japam. Nowadays you are having everyday sweet. Still, you will look for demand for it. At least do it properly. Coming back. Joke apart. Now, when this is being taught that there are 15 types of sadhana, especially the sadhanas that is also being talked in Yoga Shastra, Yama Adi, but there will be a different approach altogether. Why? Let us read very carefully. Says, look, Nityābhyāsād drute prāptir na bhavet saccidātmanaḥ Tasmād brahma nididhyāsej jijñāsuḥ śreyase ciram. So a jijñāsuḥ, the one who is knower of this knowledge, who is interested in this knowledge, the one who has this shravanam and also partial mananam. But because of habitual thinking, because of my life, the way I have been brought up, the way I live, now that person, for the sake of śreyase. So what is śreyase? Śreyase and prayas, okay? Do you remember Kathopanishad? Okay? So that is śreyase, okay? So if you translate, oh, good, so what is that good? So what is good for you need not be good for me, okay? In fact, what is good for you at this moment it need not be good for you in the next moment. That's why people go crazy for good without knowing what is goodness. So that which is sought after by everyone all the time, that is called śreyase. We say muktihi is called śreyase. The freedom, the liberation is the śreyase. Whereas prayers, bhukti, all sort of accomplishment, all sort of achievements are called prayers. That's why Nachiketas chose what? Śreyase, not prayers. So here it says, jijñāsuḥ, a knowledgeable person, especially the one who has gone through all this teaching, Sravanam and Mananam. Now this person, for the sake of śreyase, now does nididhyāsanam. Nididhyāsej instruction is being given. The person is to be done nididhyāsanam. How long? Chirakalam. Chirakalam means, ciram means as long as possible. That's why I never say, Swamiji, how long to be meditated? That means if you ask how long to be meditated, better continue. So there is no time frame. It is like, how long to wash the cloth. As long as the cloth doesn't exist, okay? That's the truth. Means as long as there is no dirt. So if there is a dirt, you have to keep washing it. And interestingly here, the mind is full of dirt. So what is dirt? What is the malam of the mind? So malam, the impurity of the mind is nothing. Thinking differently, which is not supposed to be thought of that moment. Because people say, oh, you should be different. And only those who think differently, they are the achievers. Yes, they are achievers in the eyes of others. But deep within, are they achiever? Ask. However, let me not get into, it's like, people after becoming prime minister of a country struggle to become what? Chancellor of a university. Because now one university is looking for chancellor, okay? So different prime ministers are applying for it. What can you say? However, so being different, please understand, this is what you have to understand. My mind starts thinking differently. Here I am in the class, for example. Instead of listening to whatever, if my thought brings some other thought pops up, starts thinking differently. That means what? My mind is impure. Basically, occupied mind is an impure mind. If my mind is getting occupied unnecessarily, that means my mind is an impure mind. And as per the rule, mind should not be occupied at any given moment. And whenever mind is occupied, how the mind is occupied? By projecting either future or referring to past, going back or forth. And whenever mind keeps projecting, oscillating between these two, past and future, you have fear. Whenever fear takes over you, not because of people, not because of the situation, but because your mind starts either projecting future or making to pop up your past. And there, mind becomes restless, there is a constant fight. And when in that fight you become weaker, the present become weaker, the thinking process become weaker, you become under the spell of that particular past or future, fear takes over. And that mind here is called impure mind. That mind is called preoccupied mind. And that long nididhyāsanam to be continued, to be practiced, as long as mind is available for me at this moment. That's why when I look at you people, especially with reference to teaching, how your mind is reflected in this class. It does not take much time for me to understand. The way you sit down, the way you talk, even if the way you open your, let us say, Zoom or whatever, you join the class, open means join the class, it shows your state of mind. Including me too, don't worry, I am also part of it. However, here it says, look, with this I'll stop it because I'm taking a little more time nowadays, so I should stop this way. So he says, look, now this is to be done what? He says, look, Nityābhyāsād adrute saccidātmanaḥ prāptir. So for the sake of gaining or understanding that the Atma, which is Sat and Chit, The Atma, that which is Sat, existence, Chit, the awareness. And because of that reason, the person Nityābhyāsād, Rute, without stopping. Today, like children, I notice, okay, I have also done, not that I have not done. When you don't want to go to the school, I am having some fever. And we knew also the trick, how to increase the temperature, okay? So body temperature, how to increase. In our childhood, we used to learn that first, okay? Because when we have to say that we have fever, so we have to make them to touch, okay? So there are tricks, I don't want to talk here, okay? And especially the day you want to get up late. Because for you guys, no problem. Saturday, Sunday, especially Sunday is the best day to get up late, okay? Because child is not going to school, so sleep some more time. So everybody sleep together, okay? However, because I am seeing one of the child having some fever, says, because he wants to get up, escape one daily routine, okay? And that is one of the biggest holiday. Coming back. Here, once you stop, again, it takes some time to start. And if you discontinue for a few days, you are out. Including the class. Like some of you, I have got Avani-avatam, I have got this puja, that puja, I have got some work, this work, that work. Hey, that means you are not fit for Vedanta, okay? Openly I am saying it. Only when you cannot breathe, yes, you can take a break. Try your best, not shifting your priority. And thank you, all of you, I must thank, because of you people I am able to talk, okay? So for that sake, I am, grateful to all of you, okay? But hey, don't take it for granted. Then you will be a student permanently, okay? Would you like to be a student permanently? Then no problem. Okay, do whatever you want, okay? So I need some, these permanent students, okay? So here he says, continue your practice without any stop. Not even if one day. Moment you stop one day, then what you do? You add up new things. So when you add up new things, what happens to your old things? Gets dropped. Because we will be talking this point very carefully. You think you are achieving, you are not achieving anything. You are destroying yourself. Because when mind looks for new things, what does it mean? Your mind is tired of yourself. And when your mind is tired of yourself, now tell me, will people be tired of you or not? Can you see this point? When your mind itself is tired of you, now will people be tired of yourself or not? People will get tired of you. So that's why whatever practice you do, we have many examples, great saints. They are very ordinary people. They have done wrong things, but constantly they keep doing with one given attitude. In that, they have been considered as great enlightened masters, great enlightened people. There are many examples I can quote. So continuing, that's why we say, even if you want to sleep, for example, say, mind says, no, today I cannot do japam sitting, my back is paining. Okay, fine, let me listen to my mind. Okay, for 2 hours you lie down, without sleeping, without moving. You said you want to take rest, nah? Good, nothing wrong in it. Let me lie down for 2 hours, without sleeping, and without moving, shaking the body. you will discover after 15 minutes, mind will be restless. Have you ever observed this? Just after 15 minutes, mind will be so disturbed. Then, like a child, without your knowledge, do you know what mind will do? Will get up. Hey, get up. Let me sit down. Sometimes without your knowledge, you will come and sit in your meditation posture, okay? It is better to sit than giving punishment in lying down, okay? This is one example I am giving you. Because if you keep shifting, if you keep changing, it doesn't help. And nowadays, the mind is so fast. They want to only change. There is no improvement. I think again we'll take this verse because already I have crossed the limit today.